Hello everyone, how you doing? It is Sal, Stretford. Welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone is doing good. Everyone's having a fantastic day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Absolute legends. Big up everyone. Of course, don't forget to smash a like on the video and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Of course, let me just write this tweet, guys. Give me a second, please. Give me a second. I need to write it out. I need to let people know I'm online. I need to let people know I'm online, guys. Of course I do, of course. So let me just get this up real quickly. And then I'm going to get straight with you guys. There we go. Thanks so much for joining me. Now, let's get into it. Look, guys, you know what? I saw some news today, and you know what? It is from none other than Sky Sports. And to be honest with you, it was basically mocking our young player, Lenny Yoro, for the goal against Newcastle United when he's looking at the linesman, putting his arm up and stuff like that. And I was absolutely, how would I say it? Annoyed. I mean, that is the lightest form I could say it, to be honest with you. I was annoyed. I was pissed off, to be honest with you, because, you know, I'm fed up with these Sky Sports journalists, these journalists in general, taking a swipe at our manager, our club, you know, etc., without any real basis to it, without any real educated opinion from it. I'm surprised by Thierry Henry in regards to these comments and this mocking of Lenny Yoro. Look, let's not forget, guys, right? Thierry Henry's had a lot of smoke blown up his ass his whole life. Thierry Henry has had a lot of smoke blown up his ass his whole life. Everyone has told him what a fantastic player he is, what an amazing player he is. In my opinion, he's not even in the top 5 strikers in the Premier League history. That's my opinion, right? In my opinion, he bottled it in many big games, not least Arsenal's only Champions League final in 2006 against Barcelona. He missed a number of chances in that game. We can scroll back and we can all do the clips and we can all get footage from YouTube and show and make out that Henry is some sort of dud player. He wasn't a dud player. He was a very good player. But this guy, I think the ego has got to his head. I mean, you're mocking a youngster on a platform that openly doesn't like Manchester United. Right? Doesn't like Manchester United. Henry had to leave Arsenal to win the Champions League because he couldn't win it for his own club. He couldn't win it for Arsenal. He couldn't do it. He missed out in 2006. He missed a number of chances in that game. Clear chances. Right? Why don't people talk about that? The bottling from Henry. Why don't people talk about the handball against Ireland that prevented them from qualifying for the World Cup? Oh, but they don't want to hear that, do they? They just want to mock a bloody 19-year-old player, you know, who's just started out in the Premier League, for crying out loud, and they want to try and make fun of him. Disgrace. Disgrace. You should hold your head up in shame, Henry. Honest to God. Hold your head up in shame. You can do that little laugh that you do, you prat. You know what I mean? Don't go anywhere near our young players and talk about our young players and try and slander our young players. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what I'm seeing is that you are a serial bottler, mate. You had to leave Barcelona. You have to leave Arsenal to go to Barcelona as a bit part player to win a bloody trophy, a Champions League trophy, mate. So come on, man. Come on. Allow that. Stop that. And I expect nothing less from the likes of Stephen Warnock, from the likes of Gary Neville, who love to criticize Ruben Amorim and Man United in general. I love to know what Stephen Warnock's tactics would be. I love to know what his genius idea would be in regards to the tactics. Oh, but we're going to play a 4-3-3. We're going to play a 4-3-3. Mate, you know nothing, Stephen Warnock. You're a very average player in a very average Liverpool side. You got sold to, what is it, Stoke City, something like that. You're an average baller, mate, a dopey one, and you laugh like a clown, mate. That's what you do. That's what you do, mate. You're an absolute prat. Absolutely. Guys, had to start the show like that, but that is what it is. I have to stick up for our players at the end of the day. I have to stick up for our manager. That is what I do on this channel, absolutely. And you know what? Disgraceful. Honestly, disappointed with some of these journalists, man, especially Thierry Henry, to be honest with you. Big up Danny B, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up UK Rap, big up yourself. Thank you so much, my friend. Sal, afternoon, brother. I hope you're doing well. Henry, that wanker who had handled the ball playing for France, that knocked Ireland out the World Cup. That guy, yeah, I think that guy who's had smoke blown up his ass his whole career. People telling him what a fantastic player he is, the best striker of all time in the Premier League. Nonsense. Mark Hughes is better than bloody Thierry Henry, for goodness sake. Thierry Henry, you know what I mean? It is an absolute, guys. Hey, let me answer this. 1 second. Hello? Hello, who's this? Etty Salad. Yeah, I'm a bit busy at the moment, sir. I'm a bit busy at the moment. What's it about? Okay, no, I'm a bit busy, my friend. Thank you so much, though. I'll call you back. Thank you. These promotional calls, man, they stop me midstream, guys. I think it's an important call, and they stop me midstream, and I'm like, bloody hell, what do you want, mate? What do you want? Crazy lot. Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, absolutely, Graham. This Thierry Henry, you know what I mean, who thinks he's funny. He's not funny. You know what I mean? Va-va-voom, va-va-voom, va-va-voom. Mate, your wife can't even... Concentrate on keeping your wife, mate. That's what you need to do. Concentrate on keeping your wife, bruv. You know what I mean? Then talking about bloody Manchester United and everything like that. Because at the end of the day, you can take your swipe at the more experienced players at Manchester United. You could take your swipe at it. I don't mind that. That's fine. But when you're targeting a 20-year-old, 19, 20-year-old, right, who's just making his way in the Premier League, let's not forget, Thierry. Let's talk about your time at Juventus. Why don't we talk about your time at Juventus when you got shipped out of Juventus, mate? Why don't we talk about you weren't a striker until Arsene Wenger told you were a striker? You didn't even know your own position, mate. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I think you should speak quiet. Absolutely. Sky Sports calling Sal about the Henry. Sky Sports calling Sal about the Henry slander. Look, at the end of the day, look, yeah, absolutely. Look, you know, you cannot say that about our institution. You could never say that about Sky Sports. How dare you? We are suing you. Look, listen, guys, look, whenever you put a little video up, which is from Sky Sports, right, on Twitter, rest assured that video will be deleted in no time, guys. That video will be deleted in no day. There's copyright money merchants. That's what they are at the end there. Big up Danny B, of course. I think Henry clip get deleted on Twitter, but he analysed Euro wrongfully and being biased towards Euro. I mean, Kenny, didn't he play with Tony Adams? Did he not play with Tony Adams? He's talking about the player putting his arm up. Let's talk about how Tony Adams used to put his arm up then. You know, let's talk about that, how Tony Adams used to do that. Is he delusional? Is it dementia? Does he not remember these things? And Martin Keown as well. That players put their hand up, defenders put their hand up. That's what they do. Is it dementia? That's what I want to know. Because at the end of the day, yeah, they deleted it. But they're still posting little pictures of it, isn't it? Trying to stir the pot in Manchester United. At the end of the day, a lot of these people who work for these channels wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for Manchester United. They wouldn't even be, you know, they have nothing to talk about. What they're going to talk about right now? Guys, delete Man United right now for a second, right? What have Sky and other institutions got to talk about? Boring, isn't it? It's boring at the end of the day. The arrogance of the Arsenal team is still relevant now. As a really horrible team they were. As long as Ineos back Amram in the summer, then we will deliver. I'm backing him all the way. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I mean, the arrogance, Grayo, you know it. Grayo, you were there. You saw it. And this is why I don't like Arsenal. This is why I cannot agree with certain fan channels, Terry Flewers and all that, licking Arsenal backside. You know what I mean? When we know the rivalry between Arsenal, we don't like Arsenal. They flipping hate us, but they hate us more. They're more jealous of us than we hate them. You know what I mean? Because during the 90s, we did hurt them a lot more than they hurt us. We hurt them a lot. We all remember the 1999 FA Cup semi-final and the 8-1 and you know, the 8-2, the 6-1 and the 8-2 and all these results. And of course, costing them league titles after league titles after league titles. Of course, they're not going to dislike us. But at the end of the day, look, listen, like, Henry is out of order, bang out of order here. He's bang out of order, you know, in regards to Lenny Yoro. And to be honest with you, I don't know how Lenny Yoro will feel about that. Obviously, Lenny Yoro is French. He probably admires Thierry Henry. And this is the whole thing about it. And it's disgusting. It disgusts me that, you know what, this dead punditry on Sky and other channels as well, ESPN FC, TNT, all these channels that just want to take a swipe at Man United because we're down at the moment. But rest assured, guys, the wounded beast will be back. We will be back to where we belong. Bet your bottom dollar we will be back to where we belong. Absolutely. Big up, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Any updates on sealing the Juan? Nothing at the moment. Juan Jimenez is I'm a big fan of Juan Jimenez, Danny B. Nothing at the moment. All I would say, Danny B, is that Juan Jimenez is on Manchester United's radar. That's all I can say. He is on Man United's wish list. So basically scouting list. So he's a player that Man United have scouted. Absolutely. Big up, everyone. When they all surrounded Rover after the final whistle was absolutely disgusting. Yeah, they thought it was a dive. I thought it was a penalty, and they're diving. And the only regret I have is that Ruud van Nistelrooy didn't put that ball in the back of the net. To this day, I wish he put that ball in the back. There would be no invincibles. No, you know what? Invincibles, guys, they make their own trophy at the end of the day. That's what Arsenal fans do. That's what Arsenal Football Club do. They make their own trophies. Why don't we make a golden Champions League for the fact that we were unbeaten in 2008 and 1999 Champions League campaigns? Why don't we build or create our own golden Champions League? Because it's petty. You don't get any points for it. It's silly at the end of the day, and they drew about 15 games that season, if I'm not wrong. And you know what? Just got lucky at the end there and cheated along the way. Check out 70-year-old Alvaro Montaro as well as Sarsfield. Sal is the next big film coming through. I will do. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. I thought 114 watching, only 15 likes. So please, everyone, smash the like and subscribe buttons. We are streaming because of 10,000 subscribers, which incredible, Jim. Thank you so much, Grayo. We're going onwards and upwards, my guys. Absolutely, we're going onwards and upwards. Now, guys, let's get into a little bit of scouting news in regards to Manchester United. Manchester United has scouted a young player that you may not have heard of, guys. And there are going to be a few this summer, guys, knocking about. And his name is this player, Joaquin La Vega. Now, Joaquin La Vega is a left winger who currently plays for Fluminense, of course, in Brazil. Of course, guys, he is a 20-year-old player, Uruguayan, no caps to Uruguay yet, but is a relatively unknown player right now, but is getting a name for himself at the moment. There is a lot of hype around him behind the scenes in Brazil, and it's very important that Man United seal this deal. Let me tell you, this player, Joaquin La Vega, will be one of the next best things coming out of South America. It will be. He's only valued at 2.8 million euros at the moment, which is absolutely nothing. He can play left wing, he can play right wing, and he can play as a second striker. So what does that mean? Perfect for Ruben Amorim's system. So 2.8 million, absolutely beautiful, left-footed. He's an attacking, he can play right wing back, left wing back, attacking midfield. You can even play him up front if you like. Another player on Man United's conveyor belt, of course, absolutely. Joaquin La Vega Colzada, that is his name. And another player coming through the ranks at in Brazil. Another one coming through, of course. Another player which is for a little bit more experienced that I want to talk about is Gaston Martirena. Gaston Martirena is a right back who currently plays for Racing Club Torneo Apertura. He plays in Uruguay, of course, guys, in the first tier of Uruguayan football. Kind of experience, a winner in his football club, at his football club with Racing Club, of course. He's won trophies there. But he is an interesting one because he's only worth 5 million euros. He's got experience behind him, strength behind him, and he's 25. He is a right back, but he can also play as a right midfield. So what does that mean? That he can play as a right wing back. More or less. He can play as a right wing back. The fact that we get him, this type of player, Gaston Nicolas Matarena Torres, his name is, of course, he's a right midfield, right back, right midfield. So he can play as the right wing back. And Manchester United have scouted this player quite intensively over the last few weeks behind the scenes. Man United have scouts in South America right now, looking at various players. And this name has come up, of course, guys. Many players have come up. But Gaston Martirena is one of those players that has come up in conversation in regards to his ability. He's not a young player. He's not like the other ones that I mentioned. He's 25. He is an experienced, more experienced player as well, but relatively unknown. relatively unknown. So it is one to look out for. Man United will be looking for cheaper options like this, but options that, you know what, talent is talent at the end of the day, isn't it? And that is what Man United are looking for as well, of course, guys. So those are two players that Man United are interested in South America. I'm going to bring a lot more in this week. I've got my guy out there in South America at the moment working on it and stuff. And we're going to bring in lots of players that Man United are looking at the moment. Man United are scouting at the moment. And to be honest with you, looking forward to the obviously the summer, because there's gonna be a lot of names out there that many people haven't heard of. There's gonna be like scouting going on. There's gonna be players you're like, who? A bit like Aiden Heaven and players like that, but on a broader scale, on a much more wider scale in regards to South America and Africa and Japan and obviously CONCACAF and America and stuff like that. It's gonna be a lot of news in regards to these players that we've never heard of before, you know what I mean, so to speak, you know, but it doesn't mean that they're not good enough. It doesn't mean that they're not good enough, of course. He's fire Sal, good one, the one that won the 10s, absolutely. And yeah, he's one that is going to be snapped up very soon, Danny B, and he's going to go to Europe very, very soon. And Man United need to make a move on La Vega. I think you're talking about. Definitely, he's one. He's one that is going to go to a big club very soon. If Man United don't get their acting gear, he will be leaving. He will be going to another club in Europe, definitely. There is rumours about Celta Vigo, Racing Santander. Of course, other clubs are interested. Athletic Bilbao are interested in him at the moment, and other clubs around Europe, including Vitesse Arnhem. Of course, Feyenoord are also interested in him. So there are players, teams that are interested in La Vega, a young player, of course, and it wouldn't cost that much either. It wouldn't cost an arm or a leg, would it? At the end of the day, absolutely. His experience, Sal, he got 1 goal and assist this season for Racing, rapid player, absolutely. And what is the thing, Danny B, is that he can play as the right wing back. He's got that pace. He's got that ability to create, to score. He's got that thing about him, you know. And just because he's 25 and, you know what, relatively unknown quantity, people are going to play it down. And you know what? I like this about you, Danny B. You know your stuff. And, you know, what I would say is that we need to look at these players as well, because they might be the next thing, isn't it? They might be that player that can take Man United forward, just because we don't know who they are and they're not a household name, if you know what I mean. And people are going to just, like, you know, shrug them off and say, who's he? He's got no caps from Uruguay. He's going to be rubbish, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean, at the end of the day. So we have to obviously look at, like, being a little bit more subjective and looking at things for what they are as well, guys. Absolutely. Now, Manchester United, this is our scouting plan. Man United will be looking for these bargains, so to speak, bargains. No disrespect to the player, but they will be looking for bargains. And there are players out there that Man United can get who are probably better than your Tyler Dibblings and players on that level. Do you know what I mean? They are probably better than those players, but will cost a lot less. Than that, you know. And there are many players in South America, of course, in Uruguay and Argentina, Brazil, everywhere. You know, we got Diego Leon, who's come through, of course. And I was a little bit surprised. Yesterday, I wrote a poll about who should be our number 1 left back, and people were saying Dorgu. Diego Leon only got 10%. I was a little bit surprised by that. Definitely. Him and Wesley Franca, absolutely brilliant player. Wesley Franca, right wing back, looking at Osario, right wing back, and Michelin he's from Chile. Heard of him, Osario? Yeah, Dario Osario. Franca, we spoke about Wesley Franca, or Wesley, on this channel, of course. Very, very good right wing back, Brazilian. One of the next ones through. We have to look at this. We have to really get our scouting in order and get these deals done, because you know what? These players are going to leave, and eventually they're going to go to another club for a lot more money. Where did Porto, Benfica, Ajax, and all these teams, Michelin, for example, find these players in the first place? What Man United need to do is Man United need to cut out the middleman. They need to cut out the middleman and go straight to the source and get the next big thing. Take a punt, take a chance. Stop looking at the Tyler Dibblings and players like that are going to cost 30, 40 million. You know, start looking at players that are going to cost you a fraction of that and probably more talented than that player at the end of the day, possibly. You know, so it is going to be an interesting summer. Looking forward to it. Next season, I hope that Ruben Amorim is there. I hope that Man United are in the Champions League. I really do. I really hope that they are. I hope we win the Europa League, and that would be absolutely fantastic, wouldn't it? But you know what? It's going to be a tough game on Thursday. Man United are playing Lyon, of course, which is going to be a tough game. I've got my match preview tomorrow, guys, and the prep man and the press conference as well. Big up Danny B. Danny B knows his stuff. Good to have people with good ball knowledge in the stream. You know what I mean? I love that because ear to the ground, you know? And that's what it is. And we us, me like Danny B, myself and stuff, we watch football. And there's many people, fan channels out there who don't really watch football. They just watch, like, when I was a young lad, right, in East London, South American football used to come on. It used to come on about, 3 a.m, in England. And it used to be on like Channel 4 or Channel 5 back then. And I used to stay up and watch the highlights of the South American football, the Brazilian league and the Argentine league and stuff like that. I think it was mainly the Brazilian league they used to show, but I used to do that. And I like these signings because I believe that there are players in South America that could fit the bill, that can help Man United, really do. People with a little bit of backbone, do you know what I mean? People with a little bit of strength and you know what, not cowardice. Because what I'm seeing, especially at the weekend, what I saw was a lot of cowardice. I saw giving up. I saw a team that is giving up. I saw a team that is thrown in the towel. You know what I mean? And these players, that just shows me that mentally, they're just not the type of players that Manchester United need. Now, we got Diego Leon, who's coming next season, of course, which is great. Of course, he's highly underrated, guys. A lot of people are underrating him at the moment. I do believe it should be between Dorgu and Diego Leon for that left-back berth. I believe that. I think that Malacia and Luke Shaw should leave the football club. Harry Amass, possibly, depending how he does. I would love him to do well, but he could possibly go on loan to, I would like him to go on loan to a Premier League club. Man United can't have too many left backs, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we do need a right wing back. As we said, Wesley is one who is a fantastic right wing back. Of course, I've spoken about Gaston as well today. And hopefully Man United do still a right back position. Obviously, there is Roger Fernandez as well in Europe, who is also showing interest. Absolutely. And my brother lived a few blocks behind Upton Park for years, Sal, before he moved to the US, moved to East London, where I was a kid. I was from Leighton, Danny B. I'm from Leighton, East London, not far from Upton Park, Green Street. I used to work in East Ham Job Centre. I used to work in there. I used to go past there every single day, basically. Absolutely. And I used to work there. And I'm an East Ender myself, mate. Been there a few times. My brother's a musician. We done a celebrity football match there at the old Upton Park, of course, which was great to play there. And not there anymore, unfortunately, just a block of flats. My friend used to live in the flats as well, mate, behind Upton Park. My friend used to live in there, Imran, his name was. He used to live in the flats behind Upton Park. You know, the one where next to the there's the club shop just underneath the flats. If you know the club shop underneath the flat, there's there. And in the square, there's a little square there, isn't there? With the statue of, I think it is, Bobby Moore, isn't it? I think it's Bobby Moore. Absolutely. I'm originally from Ireland, living in Boston, USA for over 15 years now, sir. Big up Boston. Absolutely love it. Is Boston still how it used to be? My older brother lives in New York. My grandma's from Virginia, Newport News to Virginia. That's where my grandma is from. My brother is living in New York. I've got American connections all around, of course. Absolutely. Big up Boston. Absolutely. Used to be a very dangerous place. Big up Michael. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see Michael in the house. I love the new picture, Michael. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Please, guys, don't forget to smash a like before you come in. Smash that little click. That's all we need. Just a little smash the like. And that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you guys can do that for me, guys. But I was today. Big up the chat. Big up Stephanie. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see the legend Steph back in the house. I was very disillusioned today. I'm telling you, I wasn't happy when I saw that. I saw him mocking. You know, it annoyed me, guys. I shouldn't get that annoyed. I really shouldn't get that annoyed. But it annoyed me, guys. It annoyed me because it's a kid he's talking about. This guy is a kid. Lenny Euro is a kid. Lenny Euro probably looked up to Thierry Henry. He probably looked up to Thierry Henry when he was younger, and he's doing something like that. What's that going to do for the kid, realistically? Do you know what I mean? It just drove me mad, absolutely. They're a disgrace. The media are finished. Talk about tactics. The same old chestnut that they keep bringing. Oh, it was the tactics that Eric Ten Hag, the 4-3-3 didn't work, didn't it? Oh, it was the tactics with Jose Mourinho, the tactics Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the tactics Louis van Gaal. Never, always the manager, isn't it? Always the tactics. Never blaming the main source of it, of course, guys. Absolutely. Big up Chocomoca. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Here's a doomsday scenario. Man United lose on Thursday and we don't win any, obviously, our last 6 Premier League games, and Ineos fire Amram because of the truly shocking season. Wouldn't put it past them. It will happen, Chocomoca. If Ruben Amram gets knocked out of the Europa League, I'm calling it right now, forget about, like, at the end of the day, the league. I personally think that Ineos will be pushed to sack Ruben Amram, which will be an absolute travesty, considering he's not been backed. He's not got any of his players. 3 players have left. They brought in 1 player, which was an Ineos signing, of course. And also, he hasn't, he's got a unique style of play that, these players can't play because they don't have the IQ to play that system. They're basically sending him into a sword fight with a baguette at the end of the day. That is what they're doing. And, to sack Ruben Amram, who are we going to get? Guys, who are we going to get? I've heard some people talking today about Xavi. Xavi. What the hell is Xavi going to do at Man United? For goodness sake. He hasn't left Barcelona. This guy, look, at the end of the day, he's a Barcelona manager and that's about it. And wasn't he schooled by Erik ten Hag in the Europa League? Was he not schooled by Erik ten Hag? 2 games? Schooled. Big up, Steph. Sal, I won't be on your watch along by Manchester United versus Leon Europa League, Sal. No problem, mate. Big up yourself. I'm not going to judge Amram until the end of February next year. Needs 2 proper transfer. I agree, Danny B. Look, you know what? By that time, Danny B, we should know what's going on. We should say, well, it's a little bit Amram's fault. Oh, Amram's doing really well, but we should know by February, like you say, that where we are and how the tactics and stuff, because he would have had a window, right? And I personally believe he needs 2 whole seasons, but by February, we should know where we are. And that's if Ruben Amram survives, of course. Stephanie, ex-players who either never made it as managers or even tried to listen to absolutely. And Stephen Warnock, for goodness sake, that guy, my goodness me, he's as silly. His football knowledge is as stupid as his laugh. Who's ever seen Stephen Warnock's fake laugh, guys? Have you ever seen Stephen Warnock's fake laugh? Whoever has watched Sky Sports, you've got to see it. Every little joke that happens, he goes, he does that. It annoys me. I don't watch Sky anymore, guys. Luckily, I don't have access. I have got hairy hands over here. Not me personally, but Richard Keys on obviously BN Sports. I have got him. Obviously, I have to put up with that sometimes, but I don't have Sky Sports. I do see some Sky Sports news highlights sometimes just to catch up with the news and stuff like that, what they're saying about our team, just to irritate myself, to get me fired up. But at the end of the day, Stephen Warnock's a dud. He's a dud. He's an idiot. Simple as that. He's just an idiot. And that's what I would say about him. Absolutely. Rinse and Pete, the cycle returns. Absolutely, Jay. Absolutely. Sal, I won't be in Thursday night as I'm in Birmingham with Trev. Big up, my mate. I read the first one, my man. Wasting time here. Life's short, my friend. You did write it twice, my friend. Big up, Michael. No problem at all. No problem at all, mate. Enjoy it, Birmingham. Absolutely. Guys, so, I'm tired of it. I think that a lot of these pundits need to be removed. They need to bring in some experts, guys. They really do, because we can see through their bias. We can see through their hatred. It doesn't take a rocket science to see through the hatred of Sky Sports and Manchester United. They have a hatred that is lasted for years. I don't know why, because without Manchester United, the Sky Sports, the Sky brand would not have been elevated without Manchester United. The rivalries we had with Arsenal, Blackburn and Newcastle. The 98-99 season. The massive games that we gave them. I mean, if it wasn't for Man United, the Premier League would be like it is right now, guys. Let's be honest, guys. Let's have a serious conversation here. When Man United were big and successful, right? We're still big, but we're successful. Wasn't football more exciting? Wasn't there more rivalry? Wasn't there more events going on in the Premier League? Nowadays, it's like, you know what? Liverpool won the league. Oh, Man City won the league. That's what it's like at the moment, isn't it? It's like, because we know it's not the quality that it was. We know that Liverpool winning the league, they're going to win the league now because there's no quality in the league. especially this season. There's no quality. Proven in Europe. You know what I mean? There's no quality in this Premier League at the moment. So they're winning the league. They won a COVID league and they won a Premier League that is basically the worst Premier League I can remember, to be honest with you. Absolutely. Big up, Jay. Big up, Danny B. Big up, my friend. Absolutely. Look, we got to be patient. As a fan base, we got to be patient. We got to let Ruben Amorim do his thing. At the end of the day, Ruben Amorim didn't want to sign for Man United in the middle of the season. He openly said that he wanted to come in the summer. It was Ineos who forced Amorim to come into this football club in the winter. You know, and now they want to. Now we're talking about, you know, the rumors, the seed that's being planted in there, that people are saying that he needs to be sacked. And let the guy work, for goodness sake. Let's see what listen, guys. The league is over. The league is over. It's over. That is no excuse for those players to be down tooling. I'm not saying that. Those players are absolutely disgraceful. A lot of them. It's no excuse for them to be thinking that, oh, we're just going to throw this Newcastle game away. It doesn't mean anything anyway. They are in no position, earning their £200-300 a week, to be throwing games away. There are fans that have travelled all around the world to see Manchester United face Newcastle. Even if you know how far Newcastle is from everywhere else in England, you would know that it's a difficult place to get to. Not only that, when you get to St. James's Park, they put you up in the clouds. They put you right up in the clouds. So you have to have binoculars to see what's going on. It looks like a Sabutio pitch from where you sit. It's ridiculous. GK, we should use minority TR Fletcher, centre midfield. You know what, GK? I would try anything like that, mate. I would try things, and I would have done that against Newcastle. I absolutely would have, because at the end of the day, we know that these players are good. You know, we know that. We've been watching a lot of youth football, of course. We know that these players are good. We know that these players have the talent to achieve big things at this football club. Maybe it's high time we started playing some of these players. Not all of them. We got Amas. I thought Amas did very well the other day. I didn't think he was responsible for any of the goals, by the way. Lindelof has a lot to pay for that in regards to that. But you know what? What I would say is that bring in some of these players. Maybe Leon is a little bit of a stretch, of course. But, you know, in particular in the Premier League, we need to bring in some of the young players. Add a little bit of energy. What Ruben Amorim needs to do, right? Ruben Amorim needs to say, right, guys, this is your opportunity. I'm giving you the Premier League to show me what you're made of. That's it. So bring 3 or 4 of them into the team. Not all, obviously. It's very important. We don't want to get relegated, guys. 3 or 4 of them. Bring them into the team, you know, and see how they do. And rotate with them and see what they could do. You never know. You might unearth some gems. And then come next season, we might not have to do as much work than we would have done. That's what I would say in regards to that. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely, GK. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. But you know what? I'm seeing a lot of negativity. I'm seeing a lot of people laughing at our club, laughing at Man United on the media and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And it's sickening. It's sickening when I see it. It's sickening because I know that we slapped them up when we were younger. We slapped them up. We ruined their careers. We ruined their childhoods. That's why they don't like Manchester United. Now, in regards to Thierry Henry, you know what? He might have been in jest. It might have been just a joke. But at the end of the day, he needs to be very careful where he steps in regards to Manchester United. Very careful. No, because at the end of the day, you're talking about a young player here who probably looked up to Thierry Henry, as I said earlier. He probably looked up to Thierry Henry growing up. And he's mocking him like that. It's disgraceful, to be honest with you. And it's cheap, it's petty, it's rude. Whatever you make of it, it's horrible at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. But guys, we are leading up to the Manchester United versus Lyon game, which is our biggest game since the FA Cup final, of course. We need to win this game. Otherwise, this season is going to turn into a toxic, absolute toxic mess, guys. This season will turn in very toxic very soon if Man United... It is toxic already, guys. But this season will turn toxic very soon, very, very soon, if Man United don't win that game on Thursday. Now, we have to be wary of Lyon because Lyon are obviously very good away from home. And they're better away from home than they are at home. And we have to be careful of that. Lyon will be licking their lips at the prospect of coming to Old Trafford and causing an upset. So we have to bring Old Trafford back to the fortress that it used to be. That's what we need to do. When they come out Old Trafford, we need to make so much noise that they get intimidated and they've lost the game before they've even started the game. That's what we need to do. Lyon are nobodies, guys. They're a decent side in France. They're nobodies, guys. We play better teams than Lyon week in, week out, and we did at the weekend. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Ephraim, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Who would you choose for Thursday's Onana or Bayern? It's a tough one, Ephraim. I would still go at Bayern. I would go at Bayern. I would because I feel like he needs a run of games. I don't think those goals were his fault at the weekend. Apart from one goal was his fault. It is a difficult choice because, you know what, it just adds light to the fact that we need a new goalkeeper, don't we? We need a new goalkeeper. We need a new permanent goalkeeper. Lots of noises around Costa, lots of noises about Lamens, of course, guys, and Trafford, of course, as well. Lots of noises about a lot of goalkeepers. I'm like one guy. I mean, I like Senny Lamens. I think he's one of those goalkeepers that can become a Courtois. You know, I think he's one of those type of goalkeepers. But I also would like the prospect of getting Vitek back, you know, or activating the buyback option for Kovar, something like that. I would be happy with that, to be honest with you, because you know what? I think that we can spend the money elsewhere. I think Vitek's a good goalkeeper. I think Kovar's proven to be a good goalkeeper. Won the Bundesliga, of course, with Leverkusen. Great experience. We can literally pick him up for 10 million, guys. 10 million. Go and get him back. We shouldn't have got rid of him in the first place. It's absolute criminal to get rid of him in the first place. Absolute criminal to replace David De Gea with Onana as well. Whether you think David De Gea needed to go or not, and he probably needed to go, you know what, at the end of the day, I felt like, you know what, it was out of order the way we treated David De Gea, who is technically a club legend, you know. He won the Player of the Season, didn't he? Twice, didn't he? Player of the Season twice. You know, and, it's disgusting the way he's been treated. Absolutely horrible, guys. And no wonder he writes those indirect subliminal tweets, doesn't he? He writes those subliminal tweets all the time, doesn't he, guys? And I feel sorry for him. He was a great goalkeeper. And the thing is, basically, he's better than Onana. And I would love to see the butterfly effect and all that, where Man United would be, how Man United would be if they had De Gea right now. When we finish next season, where will we finish next season? I'm going to go out on a limp here, Ephraim. I think we'll finish in the top 5. I'm saying that, Ephraim, you can quote this as much as you like, but I'm saying that Man United are going to finish in the top 5 this next season. Absolutely. I'm confident for it, guys. I'm confident. Let's have it. Let's do this, guys. I am confident that we're going to do that. Some people might think I'm absolutely having a laugh. You know what I mean? Lots of people, even respected people and stuff like that. I will always believe, guys. I will always believe. And I believe if they back Ruben Amorim this summer, properly back him, not back him with a little bit here, a little bit of that. You know what I mean? None of that. I think that he can work wonders. I do think that Ruben Amorim is that guy. I think Ruben Amorim is that man. And I think that he will become a great manager for Man United and will be Man United's best manager post Sir Alex Ferguson. Hopefully, I pray that we win the Europa League, which will help us immensely. Of course, 90 million in the bank wouldn't go amiss, would it, at the end of the day? It would be absolutely, it's exactly what we need, guys. Exactly what we need. And to be honest with you, I'm looking forward to the summer. And let's see what they do. Fraud Watch is in order, guys. Fraud Watch is in order. But there's going to be a lot of names out there, guys, that are going to go, that are going to come in. We have to practice patience. When we sign a player, whether we sign a player we haven't heard of, we have to really believe in Ruben Amorim, because last summer we were after Patrick Dorgu. I mentioned it on this show. If you scroll back months, I mentioned it on this show first, guys. Of course, he was not on Ruben Amorim's wish list. It was a Ineos signing. Now, I hope that Ruben Amorim has a big say in who we sign this summer, because Ruben Amorim has a set of play, a special skill set. I'm starting to sound like Liam Neeson. A special skill set that is a different formation to any other club, basically. Any other club in the Premier League is different. He needs the players to fit that formation. He needs the players to fit that formation. And I think, hopefully, he has a big say in who we sign. And it's not Vivel, it's not Wilcox, it's not Brailsford. At the end of the day, it's not Barada. I hope not just them. Maybe they have an input, but it's not just them. The biggest mouth should be Ruben Amorim, in my opinion. How do you rate Man United season so far, Sal? Poor, mate. Michael, poorest season I've ever witnessed as a Man United fan. Yeah. if Man United don't win the Europa League, it is the poorest season I've witnessed. I've witnessed some poor season under Alex Ferguson, especially in Alex Ferguson's first 4 years. I've seen some bad seasons. We didn't win anything. If I was to say it'd be one of Man United's, I wouldn't say one of Man United's worst seasons ever if we didn't win the Europa League. If we come full from bottom, it's Man United's worst. It's Man United's worst. And Man United will probably be the worst team in the Premier League. And I'll tell you why Man United will be the worst team in the Premier League. Because the bottom three are going down anyway. I don't think there's a chance that these bottom three survive these days. The Premier League is a different animal now. And these teams that are coming up from the Championship don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. So I would say that Man United coming full from bottom would be we're the worst team in the Premier League, in my opinion. Now, if Man United do come full from bottom, this will be the worst season I've ever witnessed as a Manchester United fan. Sorry to say, but it is. If we don't win the Europa League. If we win the Europa League, however, if we win the Europa League, then you can't say it's the worst season we've ever had, because football, at the end of the day, is all about winning trophies. You know, it is all about winning trophies. Now, I want to write a poll up here, guys. I want to write a quick poll. Right. So how many people have smashed the 93% have not smashed the like again? Guys, come on. Don't forget to smash the like, guys. Don't forget to smash the like. I heard today that these dead pundits, I think it's, what's his name? Robbie Mustoe and Chris Sutton, who are notorious Man United haters, right? They have said that basically the winner of the Europa League shouldn't qualify automatically for the Champions League. Right, I'm going to write this down on this poll here. Should the Europa League continue to grant automatic qualification for the Champions League? Now, Robbie Mustoe and Chris Sutton are saying, I mean, I find it funny because they have never, ever, right, said anything about this before, right? Now, all of a sudden, that Man United have a possibility to qualify for the Champions League via the Europa League. Now they're piping up. If you can get better player, you can sell. Absolutely, brother. Big up Ephraim. If we get better players, can you sell Bruno? I wouldn't sell Bruno yet, Ephraim. I would eventually looking at, because he is getting a little bit over the age of 30. I would look at replacing him long term, bedding him into the team a little bit, keeping Bruno, but bedding the replacement for Bruno into the team slowly. Now, there's a number of options out there. Obviously, we're talking about Trincao and Cherki and players like that. But Man United need to bed these players in. They can't just throw these players out. And I would like to see Bruno with a team around him, a competent team around him, to be honest with you, if I'm being honest, guys. I really would at the end of the day. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in the summer. Obviously, Ruben Amorim is a big admirer of Bruno. Bruno's the only one really who's been scoring goals and doing things and assisting for Man United. So we really can't say anything about Bruno at the moment because Bruno is that guy, you know, for us. But in the long run, we do need to look at replacing Bruno. He is getting on a little bit. We need to replace him. We need to think about replacing him. When he gets over 30 years old, it'd be great to have a ready-made replacement to go in there for him, straight away. It would be great to do that if that will happen. Whether we do that or not depends. I do think Man United need a number 10. I do believe that. I think a Trincao, as I said, a Cherki would be absolutely brilliant for Manchester United. I do believe that. But you know what? We have to look for standards, guys. Standards. Bruno is one of the only players that have really stood out for parts of this season, right? Parts of this season, not all the season. It's ever since he got criticised by Keane, which shouldn't happen, by the way. Players shouldn't perform just because they got criticised by a legend, right? They should perform anyway. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Danny, Naipan on his that guy. Apparently, Naipan is. I heard that he's not going to Man United. I heard he's going to, if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Naipan is going to Newcastle. Apparently it's Newcastle or I think it is. Let me double check this because apparently, let me just check on my email. Apparently he's going to Newcastle. As what I have heard, he's going to Newcastle, which is a big blow for Man United, of course. Aston Villa and Newcastle. Aston Villa, Villa, that's it, Danny B. That's it, you got it. Aston Villa. He's going to Aston Villa. I'm annoyed by it, mate. Cheap, skillful, potential, brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. And going to miss out on another great player. Typical Man United. You snooze, you lose, isn't it? Why don't we go and get him? He's been. Their season has finished, so why don't we go and get him? It's ridiculous, mate. It makes me so mad. You know, we're just going to carry on letting these players go. Quenda, Naipan, another one bites at us, another one bites at us. Frimpong will leave. All these players in South America will go. The ones I've been mentioning, of course, they will leave as well, and they'll go to other clubs, and we'll be like sitting there twiddling our thumbs, of course, guys. It's ridiculous. We need to pick it up. We need to get better. We really do. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Off a little bit early today. I have to do a couple of things, but thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video and please subscribe if you're new, guys. Really important. Spread the Stretford Post news. Kenny, Naipan, another brilliant player missed. Absolutely. It's going to go to Aston Villa, for goodness sake. And I bet you, Kenny, in a couple of years' time, people are going to be talking about Naipan. Man United want Naipan for 80 million, 60, 70, 80 million. Watch it. It's going to be mad, isn't it? And we said we could have got Naipan. We could have got Naipan just like we could have got Doué. Do you remember we were after Doué in the summer and he went to PSG? Snooze, you lose. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they should have known that he was a great player. It's ridiculous at the end of the day. And it does drive me mad. It does drive me. It really does, guys. Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. You absolute legends. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow morning for Breaking Dawn. Have a great evening, night, morning, wherever you are in the world. You're all absolute legends. Really appreciate you coming on today and appreciate every single one of you. Up the Reds. Big up Man United. It is the match preview tomorrow. And we're leading up to that big game against Lyon, of course, guys. Have a great night, evening, morning, wherever you are. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.
We have two ways, or we forget about the new idea, and I think that's why I was brought here in the middle of the season, and we try to cope with the things that I used to do it, and next year in the same stage we'll be here with the same problems. Or we start now, we risk a little bit, we suffer a little bit, and in the next year we will be better at this point, so we have to risk it a little bit. And they are thinking too much because we are changing too much with two trainings without space to improve in training.